Good morning, Blue Lulus. How you doing? The more that time goes on, it is appearing less and less likely that Kilmar Abrego Garcia will be returned back to the United States. Yesterday, the Joker administration went to court and they said that it's impossible for them to bring him back, both because he's in the custody of a sovereign nation and because he's a confirmed member of a gang called MS-13, and that's considered a global terrorist organization, so that makes it impossible for them to bring him back. Here's the problem, though. They already confirmed that that's not true. Because if he really was a confirmed member of that gang, then it wouldn't have been a clerical error for him to be there in the first place, right? But you already said that it was. You already straight up admitted that you know that he's not the member of a gang, and now you're pretending like you do in front of a judge. You are perjuring yourself in court, pretending like you think that he's part of a gang, and it's the fact that nobody is holding him accountable sincerely offends my sense of justice. You know how he got arrested in the first place? He was standing outside of a Home Depot. Typically, in my experience, when people are just standing outside of a Home Depot, they're looking for work. They literally are trying to find a way to feed their family and help us in the process by often offering lower prices in order to do things around the house. He was using his hands and his body for good. That's not what people who are affiliated with gangs do. If he were part of a gang, you know what he would be doing? He would be peddling party favors to your kid, Joker. Police reports say, according to a well-informed source, he was a highly ranking individual. And then in court, they said that he was never able to prove that he wasn't part of a gang. Yeah, that's not how this works. How do you prove that you're not part of something other than just say, hey, no, I'm not? If someone points at you and says, hey, you're part of a gang, and then you have to prove that you're not, how are you supposed to do that? There's literally no way to go about it. He had 0 arrests from 2019 until the time that he was scooped up and deported to this terrible camp with amazing concentration. And even if he did know people who were part of a gang, that's not a unique experience in the United States. Remember last week we talked about the fact that I grew up in the hood. I know people or knew people that were affiliated with those sorts of things because that was in my environment. People who I grew up with who were the same age as me when we were small, and when we got older, we diverged on separate paths, right? I'm thinking of one person in particular that lived 2 doors down from me. I went to college, he went to jail, and that's just how it goes if you're living in lower income areas. Knowing somebody who does crimes does not make you personally a criminal, and the fact that people are even insinuating that it does is obnoxious and preposterous. Like, put me in, coach, judge, I've got some questions for that. Particularly when the Joker administration actually acts like a crime syndicate. Like, you have a mugshot, you've been to jail, you've been booked, you're a felon yourself. You've been charged with RICO, you've been charged with conspiracy against the United States. But luckily for you, you have enough money, lawyers, and for whatever reason, a cult following that has kept you out of jail. But you personally are a criminal. Not allegedly, a 34 times criminal. And you surround yourself by other people who are as well. What do you call that? How is that not a gang? You tell me. The Proud Boys certainly are, and you had no problem with them doing what they did 4 Januaries ago. You loved it so much that you just unleashed them out into the streets, despite the fact that what they did that day can be described as nothing other than domestic you-know-what. And the fact that they are not being held in contempt and not being charged with perjury is so maddening to me. It makes me furious. When are we going to wake up? When is our justice system going to stop pretending like it's okay for him to get away with all of this stuff? Like, it's crazy. But I do know one thing: karma is real. God is real. Justice is real. And eventually, your time is going to run out. And if one thing's for certain, 2 things for sure: the sand in that hourglass is running frightfully low. I hope you guys take care of yourselves today. I hope you drink some yummy coffee. I hope you eat a yummy snack. And as always, keep your heads up, keep your feet on the ground, and I'll see you next time. Ta-ta!